I've met some guys that were looking for replacements for their mothers.
I'm not looking for that.
I'm not trying to be nobody's mom.
Right.
Just people who are not.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Blair Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Ready to Love. We're going to be dealing with Joy and Edwin's case. I really love their relationship. Really love their connection. And so we're going to break some stuff down that happened in their interaction as well. Guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for a notification of the uploads and for more content like this. If you are a returnee, then you already know what the song and the motto is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Yeah, are you dumb? Let's get it. Hey, don't forget as well, grab your merchandise, you know. No. Listen. Before you go any further, click on the link down below, grab your hoodie, you understand? The reason why, because winter's coming, yeah? And you need to wear the send them back to the manufacturer hoodie. You get me? Mineral gang. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So, the Joy and the Edwin situation, I think there's a really good interaction between Joy and Edwin that we saw. It wasn't very long, but I think from what we've heard about Edwin, because obviously I think Winter also spoke a little bit about Edwin, how she liked his demeanor, and liked his maturity. But when we see Edwin, we see him in two instances, with Joy, and then we see him talking about police brutality. I think this already, when you hear a man, especially a black man, the way that he communicated about police brutality.
Right now, it's the fact that we got social media, the fact that we got phones. When I was going through the field training program, I even saw it firsthand. It was a single black mother, and we were responding to a call where a young girl.
Bearing in mind, he's been in enforcement, and number two, bearing in mind as well, it was Rashid who asked him a question. He didn't come out and just speak about it. He was asked a question and then intelligently began to deliver a conversation around a very difficult topic. Now, what that showed for me is that those, and obviously Shay did her thing. We know Shay's not serious. She's just there for bants. But you could tell that obviously, especially with Adriana, she was suddenly drawn to him. I've told you about Adriana, how she's drawn to intelligence and wisdom. Something about Adriana loves a man who has wisdom in abundance. That is the kind of guy she's drawn to, which is why I think she kind of was drawn a little bit to Raymond, but didn't really complete. Is drawn to, I guess, older men. You see Rashid.
Thank y'all for staying in that conversation. I heard like several people were like, well, I'm here for love or whatever, and they just walked away, and I was like.
I noticed. Some people are a little more. It doesn't always have to be talking about who you like, who you don't like.
And that's my thing.
Well, we'll see with California. It might just be brute force. She needs to. I think she's gonna need to find where he's got the intelligence to settle down. It's a bit like Alexis last year. But anyway, that's enough of her. So talking about Edwin, I believe he's a very smart, intelligent man. He's learned from his experiences. He's come from obviously war, from the army, I should say, and has experienced some tours that he's done around, and also as well, he's learned how to handle certain situations. And we're going to talk about that PTSD that he spoke about. So with Joy and Edwin, he made a very clear statement, which for me spoke very eloquently about what joy is in this environment.
Yes.
She's like that foreign car or whatever, like Maserati or whatever, that don't really have to make commercials to be able to market themselves. Joy is that Maserati.
In this environment, joy is the gemstone that everybody wants. Okay, and I say everybody loosely, okay, because joy holds a power of what we call, I would say, the balance between a woman that is has decorum, class, but keeps it sexy, and she holds that line very well, okay, and she doesn't carry too much sexual energy, but she gives enough for someone to say, I'm attracted to you, I'm not seduced by you. And I'm going to deal with that in another video where I talk about the reason why Alicia and Winter sometimes suffer is because they're carrying a lot of, I want to seduce you, not attract you. And so to a lot of men, they are seduced and going into a place. And seduce means to deal with sexual, whereas attracting is about evoking certain feelings from you. And evoking means to recall, which means that something that you're doing enables me to recall some certain feelings and memories from the past of feeling what? Comforted, loved, attracted, wanting. It kind of goes into a bit of the Freudian thing, right? Someone that reminds you of your mom. Yeah. And so that is what Joy is doing. She's operating in the I want you to be attracted, not in the seducing role. And we're going to talk about how she does that a little bit later as well. But he said that Joy is a Maserati. Now I want you to understand, a Maserati ain't cheap, baby. A Maserati is not cheap, and it's a very beautiful car. Okay, the thing about a Maserati is that it's the beautifully crafted Italian car. And if you know anything about Italians, when it comes to speed, when it comes to style, sleekness, when it comes to making a statement, okay, not just giving raw power, okay, but about fashion statement. You know, Milan and Paris, like a state, centers of fashion. They implement that into their cars, Italian leather shoes. We know the quality. This guy is not look, Maserati might have been a small word, but it's a big compliment. He's saying this girl is luxury, high performance, stylish, okay, not cheap, okay, and is someone who, oozes sexy, sleek, whilst not going too far. You understand this particular compliment? What I saw from Edwin towards Joy was the fact that, he sees her as somebody who doesn't, he said it himself, she doesn't need to be advertised. She does not need to be advertised. That is a big statement in itself. Okay? Maseratis, as I said, don't have to market themselves. They don't. Gucci, Prada don't need to market themselves no more. They're established. And that also speaks to the fact that she is established, because if you listen to her history, she's already been divorced.
I mean, I'm an advocate for therapy. That's what got me through post-divorce. Therapy saves lives.
I'm going to tell you that I'm at a place, actually, I think I may still just want to take it, even when I...
And I think this is where she has an advantage over the other women. One, she's already been married already, so she's already been around the mill. She understands the energy. She understands how people operate. She can understand how men might think, because she's already been in that space already, how they want to try to cultivate or attract a woman. Two, she's not going to be desperate to jump into marriage, because a lot of women haven't been married yet. The energy that they're carrying, they may be cool with the dating part, but when they want marriage, there's a push, there's a speed to want to get married, and that can present some level of desperation. With Joy, there doesn't seem to be that desperation with her. She's already done it, been there and done it, right? And so, as well, the fact that she also made a statement, which again, I think she carries as an energy, which is that, hey, look, I am not here to baby anybody. And I think that statement is more than enough, because it means it's saying, listen, I'm a woman, I know what I need, and therefore what I need, I'm not going to mess around what I don't need. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I've met some guys that were looking for replacements for their mothers.
I'm not looking for that.
I'm not trying to be nobody's mom.
Right.
Just people who are not.
And so when you carry that energy, you have to be respected, because what you said is, I've got boundaries. And I may be open to the process, but I've got boundaries. Certain guys are not going to be on this level, and I'm not going to be angry about it. And they shouldn't be angry about it, because this is my level. You understand? And it's not an arrogant air. And that's the difference. There are some women, when they carry that with an arrogant air. You can't step to me. Do you know my standard? No, you can't step to me anyhow, in any way. And when they carry that energy, it becomes arrogant. Yeah, it's not confident anymore. And the line between confidence and arrogance is very thin. Okay, and so she doesn't carry that arrogance energy. She carries a confident energy. Now, probably the big hair also helps as well, because I think that makes people see her from very far away. But the way that she carries herself, the way that she even dresses, I saw that they went to the pool and she still had, the
85 minutes later.
Hey,
I'm not jealous.
the long gown that she had on. Like, it wasn't abstract of sexiness, because it was like a little bit, you can see a little bit of see-through. It wasn't too tough. A little bit of see-through. And it was light, so it wasn't a cardigan heavy, whatever, blah blah. It was something that was like a top that was flowing, I think, down to like a knee or legs just slightly, whatever. It was a little bit see-through. And when I say a little bit see-through. So again, remember, I'm telling you, you're trying to find that line between attractiveness and seducing. She carries that always in that middle lane very, very well. Okay, and so I think the fact that she carries all of this energy, emanates and it spreads outwardly. The guys can see that. So sensible guys like Edwin, Jay's a sensible guy, but I think he's got a bit of a player vibe in him. Jay is enjoying the process of women coming to him. He's enjoying it. Whereas Edwin is like, listen, I don't mind talking to people, but I'm trying to find that connect. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find that right connect. Whereas Jay's like, listen, I can take sexual energy. I can take your good energy. I can take your good energy. He's just enjoying. Right, so he's enjoying all the palates, but Jay has made his mind that it's joy he wants. So what Jay's done, I know I'm talking a bit off topic, but what Jay has done is what a lot of guys will do, which is like, I understand who I need to wife, and I know who I want to play with. And guys make that distinction very, very quickly when they meet a woman. So here that's why when he deals with Winter, he gets out the pool and will give a hug to Joy. Of course, why would Joy sense that? Because she knows that that's who he's trying to wife. He's trying to play with you, right? And so when they're discussing about obviously mental health, I think it's a very important conversation to have.
What got me through post-divorce, therapy saves lives.
You know, I'm gonna tell you that I'm at a place, actually, I think I may still just want to take it, even when I say that I'm ready for love. I've heard that so many different times.
Especially in this generation, because a lot of times we don't talk about it, especially in the right ways anyway, and especially that Joy comes from a Christian background. We know the taboos when it comes to mental health. It is something that's not often spoke about. It's something that isn't deliberated very, very well. We attribute it to spiritual realms rather than saying, hey, mental health needs to be taken care of just like your physical health. Yeah, it's not a spirit that's making you big. It's not a spirit that is not making you fit. It's you not putting the right ingredients into your food. It's you not putting the right ingredients into your meal. It's not you not taking the right calories. It's you not working out, etc., etc. So mental health is that same way. We got to take care of it by putting the right ingredients and nutrients into the mind. And so when they discussed the idea of therapy, I love the fact that he was open to it. You know, saying that he hasn't taken it on greatly himself.
Still just want to take it, even when I say that I'm ready for love. I've heard that so many different times.
So you haven't done therapy before?
I did one session. Like, I'm honest with you, I battled with the idea of death.
But what has become therapeutic for him is cooking. And I think that is a very key thing. Ladies, if you're listening to this, pay attention to this. If the guy has said he's got PTSD or something like that, there should have been a solution that has been added. Do not be trying to become somebody's savior or Superman in their complexes or their troubles that they're facing. He said PTSD and he said, what's his solution? Cooking. He's helped him wrestle with some of the thoughts and the mindsets that he's been going through. There's been some type of solution. This is not to say don't do therapy. This is to say at least he's got something that has helped him manage and cope. If there is no mechanism for managing and coping this mental health issue like PTSD or anxiety and stuff like that, then you're going to find out that the person's going to struggle, and oftentimes they're going to struggle and they're going to struggle in a relationship with you, and then you're going to feel a certain type of way. Regardless whether that's drugs or tablets or that's therapy, whatever it is, there should have been a solution supported. Don't enter it trying to be their Superman or savior. He spoke about the fact as well, he battled with the idea of death. I think Edwin's a deep man, and so Joy obviously said that she liked Edwin as well. He's good, easy on the eye and everything like that. But I think they had a very good in-depth conversation. I think they are at the same place mentally, and I think that helps. Similar to Jay and Joy as well, mentally they look like they're in the same place. Do you get what I'm saying? And so this is important for Joy, and I think this is why, again, Joy is also on the peripheral of a lot of people. It's not just the looks that she's seemingly going for or the energy that she's emanating out there. Is that I'm not just concerned about looks. Where is your mind? She gives off an energy that says, listen, your mind better be correct before you approach. Because I don't deal with the small boys. Just because you're fine doesn't mean I want to date. Doesn't mean I want to date you. Which is why I think Kalafani hasn't gone after Joy, because I say Kalafani hasn't gone after Joy because it's the mind, it's the brains, it's the depth of conversation that you can have in terms of your experiences, your wisdom that you carry. So someone like Edwin would be sufficeful. Jay, as I told you guys, is a very intelligent kind of guy. And so, again, Anthony hasn't seemingly gone there. Who else hasn't gone there? Even Rashid hasn't really gone there. Again, because the mind has to be correct and right. You know what I'm saying? But she made a point that she's bonded with his energy and his charm, and so I think Edwin and Joy would make a good couple going forward. I have to see a bit more. I think it was not enough for us to really make a really hardcore decision, but I saw why people like Joy in that instance. It's because of her nature. It's the way that she presents a certain, like, listen, I'm not cocky about it. I just know what I need, and because I've been around the mill once, I don't need to experiment and find out what works for me. I know what works for me. And therefore, guys who are coming, and this is a lesson to ladies as well, I keep saying it, once you know what you need and you stick to that truth, the guys who are not meant to be there cannot come into the vicinity. They will come and they will leave because they realize that you don't want that kind of thing. It's not what you need. Don't make an excuse for him. Just know what you need and stick with it. Let's stick there, guys, and say, guys, if you want to see some more great content like this, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returning as well, you got the minerals. Yeah, yeah.